If you're finding it difficult to move on, take a walk with me. Right now, you're stuck in a story or a narrative rooted in your expectations of how things should be. The one thing we know, and you might be hearing this for the first time, is that our expectations are premeditated resentments. You may have or carry expectations for yourself and others. And when life doesn't live up to those expectations for a variety of reasons, you find yourself angry, frustrated, disappointed, and resentful. You may even cross over into contempt when those expectations aren't met. A lot of times you carry those expectations with you and never verbalize them. You expect others to know what you know and to do what you do. After all, if they wanted to, they would. I don't get it. It's so simple. It's so easy. There must be something wrong with them. You'll think, they need to fix themselves. And then you'll tell yourself, I can fix them. And that right there should be the sign and signal when you make that statement that this relationship probably isn't for you. And at a minimum, you should be asking yourself, does this align with my goals, my values, and my standards for a relationship with me? And does this merit having a conversation with them instead of making a unilateral decision? I know they can't have the conversation, so I'm just not even going to bother. And this is where you'll spend all your time bending and breaking yourself trying to get them to be who you want them to be. Trying to get them to change just so you can like them. Instead of admitting to yourself that maybe, just maybe, you don't like them. And you'll tell yourself, but what if this is the best I can do? And if you ever make that statement, you need to get real with yourself about your intentions for this relationship. I've heard clients make that statement in the past and they did the inner work and came out on the other side and now they're excited about their engagement. But I've also heard people make that statement and then they follow it up with, well, nobody's going to love them the way that I love them. And if you're being honest, do you think that you're wholeheartedly loving that person right now and this is the love they deserve? If you loved them, you would let them go so that they could find somebody who is truly interested in them. Because you're definitely not. That isn't love, although there may be elements of that based on your definition of love. What you're actually experiencing is attachment. You're outsourcing your well-being to someone else who barely has the capacity for their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And I'll let you think on where you've seen that behavior before that left you desiring to be seen, heard, loved, understood, and respected. But it also left you in a chasing position while you tried to get your needs met. Your nervous system was conditioned or programmed to your caregivers and how they showed up in the world, but also your response to their reactions to you. Meaning you fell down, went boom, and they had a big reaction. And of course you responded to their big reaction. Oh no, they're upset. I have to be upset. And it's my fault. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough, smart enough, not capable, and I'm probably stupid. And of course, these are just the interpretations of the experiences that you had at that age. As an adult, logically, you can look back on those experiences and acknowledge that they weren't that big of a deal. Now, emotionally, that's a different story. This is also why it's unhelpful to compare your trauma to someone else's. Everything is rooted to the meaning that you gave to it at the time period that it happened to you. And a lot of the things that you experience happened before you even had the language to describe it. And if that sounds unfair, it is. But those are also the cards that we're dealt as humans. What we learn to do with that information, well, that's up to us. And here's the part that makes you pretty darn smart. Somehow you innately knew how to adapt to your environment to get your needs met. And in that experience is what I call the cultivation of chronic resilience. The actions of your caregivers were often inconsistent, leaving you to fend for yourself, which makes you a survivor. The problem many of us are facing is that it also leaves us immature in our process for cultivating healthy relationships. And when I say healthy relationships, what I'm really talking about is that both people are working towards earning a secure attachment. And I've heard a lot about these mythical creatures, much like unicorns, that have a secure attachment. If you grew up with that, make sure you comment below. One of the biggest problems with letting go is that it often feels like a rejection of self. That person or the object of your affection rejected you, but then you reject yourself on top of that. I'm bad, I'm not enough, or I don't deserve good things. Or love for that matter. And when this is your mindset, you tend to accept whatever you can get from other people. And of course, that's what tees up the pattern to play out for you. And you'll say things like, see, I knew this was going to happen. You really got to start asking yourself how it feels to be right. And are you truly right, or is this pattern leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy for you? Now, occasionally, you'll run into a secure person that you'll say that you're not attracted to because there just doesn't seem to be any chemistry. And that's because chemistry and love for you is chaos. Remember, it's not always the person that you miss. It's the potential that that relationship had, and that was all you. And it goes wherever you go. Meaning, you might not have all the things you want with your object of desire, but you can and will have those things in the future with someone else. And I pray that that secure love finds you. If you're ready for change, be sure to sign up for the 21-day Love and Abundance Challenge starting on March 1st. Comment abundance or go to the link in my bio.